So approximately 9:30 last night, Minneapolis police received 911 calls of shots fired here in the park that were quickly upgraded to reports of a shooting. Police officers from Minneapolis, as well as the Minneapolis Park Police, responded and found a very chaotic scene here in this park. By the time the officers arrived, there were at least 100 individuals still in the park. The police officers found 3 shooting victims here at the scene and 1 victim in a car near the entrance to the park. Of the victims found at the scene, 1 was a female. She was transported to Hennepin Healthcare, where she was later pronounced deceased. Of the 3 remaining victims here at the scene, they were all adult males, and one of them has life-threatening injuries. One of those 3 was transported to North Memorial, and the other 3 were also transported to Hennepin Healthcare. Additionally, later on, 2 additional males arrived at the hospital after being dropped off by private vehicle. One went to North Memorial, the other went to Hennepin Healthcare. Both of those males have non-life-threatening injuries. So there's a total of 6 people that were shot due to this incident here. Additionally, 1 additional adult female received injuries and was possibly knocked unconscious in the melee that followed. Her injuries are not the result of a gunshot wound. They're simply from the commotion that followed here at the scene. Our officers responded as quickly as could, performed life-saving measures on all of the victims they found here at the scene, and attempted to secure the scene. There are literally hundreds of pieces of evidence that they are going through, and our investigators are following up on several leads at this time. I'm limited in the information that I can provide, but it does appear that there was some type of a large gathering here at the park, possibly a barbecue or something else, and that an altercation then erupted into gunfire. We believe that there was more than one shooter here at this scene, but I cannot elaborate further than that. Obviously, our hearts go out to the woman whose life was taken in this incident and everyone else that was affected by it. Our investigators are working diligently and will continue to do so until we can identify all of those that were responsible for this. However, it's clear that there's a very, very large number of people that were here and that there's still people out there that have information that's relevant to this investigation. And so, we're asking anyone who can to please come forward and provide that information anonymously. And if there are any questions, I can open it up.
What can you tell us about the age of the victims? And
they're all adults.
I'm sorry?
All the victims are adults.
What about the hundreds that were gathered around?
It's a very, very large crowd. Not much I can provide. We don't know why people were here, but we're obviously looking into that.
What do you say when you look at the number of evidence markers, the number of shots fired? I mean, the game has changed over the last number of years.
It's a very extensive scene, and yes, there are literally hundreds of pieces of evidence. It's obvious that a whole lot of rounds were fired here, and I don't know what can motivate people to come armed to a gathering like this in the way that they did. And so we're working to identify what the motive and what actually caused this.
Your thoughts, though, on extended magazines, the number of bullets each person can fire off?
Yeah, this is outrageous. It's more akin to a war zone, the amount of shell casings that the officers are recovering here, than something that you would find in a park. And it's sickening. And, we need people to come forward and provide some additional information.
At this point, are the victims cooperating?
Yes.
The investigation?
Yes.
Do you think this was a random attack or targeted?
I can't speculate. Again, it is what it is. It's a large gathering, people that were here, and we believe more than one person began shooting.
Do you have different caliber rounds throughout the park, or is it?
Yes.
Can you talk about what happened at the hospital or hospitals afterwards? Obviously, imagine emotions are running high.
Sure, and that's exactly what happened. People are distraught, concerned, and so there was some crowd control that was needed, but that's it. There were no people arrested or anything like that.
How many people were shot?
6 people. Yep.
And are you able to say what happened to the electrical box over there? And I guess was there any other damage to the park structure, the park area?
I'm not aware of any other damage, but this is an extensive scene.
Can you say, was there anything that happened throughout the day that gave you
No.
pause?
There was an incident here Friday night where officers responded, but that involved juveniles, and we're uncertain if that's related in any way. It doesn't appear to be.
Can you speak to
It was pretty quiet until
Yes.
this happened.
Yep.
Can you speak to the history of violence that's happened at the park here? I mean, this isn't the first mass shooting at the park, and then last year during the 4th of July.
Yeah, I don't think that there's anything. The only thing that may possibly be related that we're looking into may be the issue with the juveniles here, but it doesn't appear to be.
But more globally, if it's June 1st,
Yeah.
What's your mindset going into the next 90 days?
Well, we're obviously very concerned. This week we'll be beginning a large-scale operation with federal, state, and county law enforcement. We're, even without this incident, obviously we're concerned going into the summer where there historically is a spike in violence.
We were hearing that a shooter may have been in a car and was shooting at people at the park. Do you have any information about that?
There's nothing I can disclose regarding a car, other than there was a woman who was shot, and the officers found her in a car near the entrance here, and she's the person that later died at the hospital.
What about prevention and the history of things? Is there a way to prevent this from happening here again?
Well, again, we don't know the specific circumstances of what happened here. In terms of zeroing in on what may have prevented it, we have to first identify what exactly happened and who was involved, and then go from there. But, the park police were here very, very quickly. The 2nd Precinct officers were here. Obviously, the park police patrol this area. We're looking into exactly the specifics of what happened.
Do you have a license plate
I don't have that information.
or any type of
There's-
description of a vehicle?
There's several leads that they're following, as I mentioned, and literally hundreds of pieces of information, but hundreds of pieces of evidence. But I'm limited in what I can release at this time, so as not to jeopardize the investigation.
We have time for one more question.
Lastly, how long do you think it'll take to wrap up here?
They've been out here obviously since the event last night. They're meticulously going through everything that we have, and it will take probably at least a few more hours just to ensure that everything is properly documented.
Do you have an
It's
age
an
limit?
extensive scene. We can get that for you, but all the victims are adults. Okay, thank you.